Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of Podcast with Indian Temples. I am Dr. Dinesh Soni. I am the founder of Indian Temples Research and Media Services. When we go to temple and visit temple, one thing I always say that you should not just go down to the deity, but also look at all the architectural features, all the sculptures in the temple. But one major problem while you are visiting the temple is you do not understand the architectural elements very well. Those who are not very well equipped with the understanding of architectural elements, for them it becomes difficult to understand all the elements, all the features that are available, that can be seen on the temple walls and in the temple structure overall. And for this particular problem, for this particular situation, there are some good souls who are doing a very good work. One of them is with us today. We are very pleased to welcome Sivashankaree on our podcast. She runs a project named Synthesis that focuses on making the temple elements or architecture elements easy to understand for every single person. Welcome, Shiv Shankari, on our podcast.
Thank you, Dr. Dinesh.
So first, I wanted to start by asking very basic question to you. How did this project exactly start? What was the idea behind it?
I am an architect. Basically, I'm an architect and an academician. So I've been teaching students for past 10 years. And I usually make sure that whatever I teach, it should be very simple that each and every student of my class who attends my class, they should be able to easily understand the concept. So I usually sketch, even however complex the ideas are, I used to sketch everything at first hand. And then I try to figure it out how it works and then convey it to my students. I've been doing this. And a couple of months back, I thought, why not I would start a page on Instagram and why not I share the ideas, not only for students or architects, but even for the normal people. So that is how all architecture came into place.
When did you start with this Instagram page?
A couple of months back, 3, 4 months back.
Okay. So it's really commendable that within 3 or 4 months you have gained more than 10,000 followers on Instagram. It definitely
Thank you.
shows how much people are loving your post, how much they are appreciating the good work you are doing, and
Thank you.
that's really amazing actually. So if you visit the page Archisynthesis, dear friends, you will get across many interesting posts that talk about different elements on the temple, like uh, the how there is a concept of kudu in southern temples, in the Dravidian architecture style temples, and how different designs on that particular element tell you about which era the temple was built in, under which dynasty it was built. So that's what actually caught my eye when I was going through the Instagram page. How simple, how much simple she has done it to understand for everyone. So when you are drawing these elements, when you are doing, obviously being from an architectural background, uh, it definitely becomes a little less difficult than many of us. But what is your background with the art? Were you always interested in sketching or drawing these elements, or was it because of the education?
I have been interested in art since my childhood. I used to sketch whatever I see. So eventually, I got into architecture. I pursued my degree. And whenever I visit the temple, something got me very curious. Though it appeared to be complex, but I was always very curious to know like how these designs are being constructed, what made that particular dynasty or the kingdom or the people to build such massive structures, and what is inside those details. So I always believe in those days none of them would have done anything for sake. It would have a deep meaning to whatever they do. So I started figuring out who did this, why did they do it. So that is how my curiosity increased and I got into this. Then I am currently pursuing my doctorate in built heritage and conservation in the field of architecture. So I used to read a lot of books, research papers on this, which helped me to decode and understand, be it a building or be it a temple. I will always ensure that the layers that is being hidden behind, that has to be seeked at first hand. Then the complex parameters would be decoded easily. So that is how everything started.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, just being interested in art wasn't enough. You also had to study a lot of about the temple architecture. So you had to refer a lot of books or periodicals or research papers. So if you could share some book titles for our readers as well, for our viewers as well.
Okay, so there is one book which is not specific to temple architecture alone, but there is this one book called Elements of Space Making by architect Yatin Pandya. That one book actually made me curious. That is like filled with sketches, and he tries to break down a lot of complex situations, sorry, not situations, complex ideas into through his simple drawings. He conveys the ideas very well. So that one book I really like. And there are n number of books that I could mention. I will tell you in detail. You could add it to your comment section or introduction to this particular video.
Yeah, wonderful. I will be waiting for those links, and then for our viewers, I will be sharing them in the description of this video. Being interested in arts and also doing research, definitely there is a well balanced of both of them that is required. In our case, I read a lot, I refer a lot of books, but art is not really my forte. So if I try to create something that often that doesn't come out very well. So I really commend you for the work you are doing. You are best utilizing whatever resources you have. So that's really a commendable thing. I also
Thank
wanted
you.
to know, yeah, I also wanted to know when you are creating these sketches, what is the thought in your mind when you are drawing something or when you are creating a post for Instagram? What are the criteria you decide when you are creating that art?
I always make it in a sequence, like how you watch a movie. If you try to understand anything in a sequence, it is easy to convey, and it is easier for you to sketch in a sequence as well. So that is the first step that I do. Then I go from a macro level perspective, always. Like, what is the background? Like, what involved something to create such things? So instead of going directly into detail, I study the overall context first, then I get into what makes the detail to come into picture.
So, do you have like a list of topics that you want to cover and one by one you are going, or is it just like if you notice something, if you are going through a photograph and you notice a particular feature, and then you decide, yes, I want to create a post about this?
No, actually, I wanted to concentrate on the chronological mapping through history. So that is how I started from the prehistoric era. Then I slowly went into the first prototype city, which is the cattle Hayek. And then I went on to the Greece, Roman, Egypt. Then even before that, I read about the river valley civilizations, how the first initial settlement began along the edges of river. So what are the reasons for them to establish settlement? Then I started with the temple series. So I just don't decide the whole chunk, but as it goes, the basic rough idea I have, and then I just keep traveling. And also, I would like to add one more thing. This particular page is not only for students or architects. We should all think we are all living in a building. In earlier days, the buildings used to breathe. With what we are building right now, I will not say everyone, but many are not really thinking on what they are doing. So, if such people come across this post or any other post, if that is easy for them to understand, and then if there is a change in a sustainable way for them, then it will be good for the planet Earth.
Yeah, so just to put that in a different wording, you are trying to say that every building has a beauty of its own, and there is a particular personality that reflects through that building or through that monument. Is it that you are saying? Okay.
No, I,
And
I, I was talking about the contemporary structures, the house. Take, for instance,
yeah,
house that we live in right now. We are all adapting to whatever is in our hand right now. But in those days, people were very cautiously creating spaces based on the need. So when we talk about temples, every religion talks about a way of life, right? Like, how do you lead a good life in your lifetime? So all the iconographies that you see around the temple, it tells stories. It tells on your way of life. So once if we start understanding it, that makes life easier. We can be even more considerate to the earth.
getting back to my earlier point that I was talking about traveling to temples. So, have you visited a lot of temples when you were doing the research for the topic or while you were
Yes,
studying? Okay,
yes,
and
yes,
I assume that right now you are also pursuing PhD in the field of heritage conservation. You said, right?
yes,
Yes. Okay.
yes,
So, while pursuing PhD for heritage conservation, also you have to travel to a lot of temples. So maybe
yes.
if you can share some of your favorite temples that you have visited.
So there is this temple which is in Mamandur cave temples that is being constructed by Pallavas. So initially, when Pallavas were the pioneers in shifting construction from wooden structures to stone. So the initial phase when they had to, shift, they experimented with rocks. So they did cave temples. So one such temple is in Mamandur. There is one more called as Mandagapattu in Tamil Nadu. So that I have visited. So there are three cave temples. You can clearly see the evolution. The temples that we see right now is not built overnight, right? Like it needs some phases. It needs to evolve. So the from the initial baby phase to what we see now, the clear set of evolution, the first initial phases can be beautifully felt in Mamandur temples. Be it the proportion, it's not very huge. It's like only 7 feet that you enter. It's only like 7 feet. So be it scale, be it the detail is also very preliminary in the Mamandur cave temples. So that is one. Then the next my favorite temple is Kailasnathar temple in Kanchipuram. So, and then you have Vaikunta Perumal temple that is also being done by Pallavas. And there is one very, very small shrine. My page, I have made a small clip of that also. That's called as Airavatishwara temple. That's been done by Pallavas. This is also in Kanchipuram. And recently, I visited an early Chola temple, which is called as Nattatishwara temple, which is in Erode. And Pattishwara temple that is also built by Cholas. This is in Coimbatore, and I can name, I can keep naming the temples. Then the three great living Chola temples of the Cholas, the Brahadishwara, the Gangaikonda Cholapuram, the Airavatishwara temple. Then I really like the Chidambaram Thillai Nadarajar temple. I can keep naming them. Then Madurai Meenakshi Amman temple. So, so if you just give
Yeah.
me more time, I can just keep naming them.
Okay. Yeah, of course, Tamil Nadu is full of lot of interesting temple, lot of beautiful structures,
Why
and
I
the
am
reason.
not touching upon other temples of other states is because like I'm kind of used to my region and I'm saying it's not that I haven't visited the other parts of India. I have been to, many other temples across India. But this is something which I've been recently and I keep going often, so I have to name this.
Talking about temples and talking about your traveling. So obviously you have visited a lot of temples and you have seen the evolution of temples from small cave shrines or small cave temples to the grand Chola temples that are now part of UNESCO World Heritage Site. So how do you see at this revolution or the evolution of temple building? And if we look at the temples that were built by Cholas in maybe Tanjavur or a neighboring region, they have built a lot of grand temples. And from that, now we have very small shrines being built in different parts of country. So, how do you see this evolution that went from zero to high and then high to low again? So, what is your take about that?
See, I always see it like people were inspired by each other. People were trying to master
Mm.
their skill of art with the material of choice that they have. They were very much, concerned about the durability of the structure that they were building. I guess, that is not there right now, but they had exploited the material of their choice to the fullest. So when they had to shift from wood to stone, when you see Pallavas, they were very well with, they were practicing with sandstones. Sandstone is a kind of soft stone where it is kind of pretty easy for them to, carve off the figures of their choice. And when you see Cholas, they had shifted from that to a granite. So granite is kind of hard. It is not that Pallavas didn't work with granite. When you see the Mamandur cave temples, you can see them working using granite as well. So I see this as an evolution. And Cholas, they wanted to showcase their power, their magnificent power through their structure, like temples. So they had to go in for a larger height, a massive structure. So it is still a mystery, and it is very much astonishing to see how beautifully, such huge structures are being built without the binding mortars. And
Yeah.
then, I see this as a mutual inspiration to each other, and then showcasing their power through art and architecture. That's kind of very fascinating.
Yeah, in fact, when you mention about showing the power through temple structures, I remember one incident that I had read somewhere that when the Chalukyas from Badami they attacked on the Pallava kingdom, and then they looked at the temples in Kanchipuram. They wanted to build similar temples in their region as well, and
Exactly.
uh, that
Pattadakal.
that's that's how Pattanakal has come into existence.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
very very.
Kailasanatha temple inspired Rajaraja Cholan to build Brihadishwara temple.
Okay, this part I wasn't knowing about. Maybe I will
Yes. So
read
that's why
about it
you could
further.
see that cloisters, the cloister mandapa, which is along the edges of the outer wall, outer compound wall, you could see the same in Kanjipuram also.
While you mentioned that you also are a lecturer, I mean, you are into teaching profession. How do your students react on your post? How do they? I mean, do they share their feedback with you?
Not much on my Instagram page, but
Okay.
attention wise, I could see, they are very curious because the curiosity in certain students, like I could really sense in their eyes. They would always ask, and I always say some facts when I'm teaching. For instance, the Shore Temple. Initially, there were not one Shore Temple; there were many other Shore Temples, and you could see an Shore Temple which is like into the sea right now. Then they will be like so fascinated. What like so to adding in facts of curiosity, it makes them attentive in
Yeah.
class.
So basically, from a lecturer to a drawings, and from that you are going to stories. So that's how you catch attention of your students, if I put it that way.
So the clue is what we see, the tangible elements, when we connect it to the intangible aspects which shaped the tangible element and then tell people, it is very easier to understand and it
Yeah.
keeps them engaged.
Okay. So now that your page is really growing up fast, people are reacting to your post. They are uh, very positively responding to whatever art you are creating. How do you wish to take this further? What are your future plans about this particular project, or overall in general about your sketches and drawings and how you are conveying information to the audience?
I haven't thought much about that, but this will definitely be a learning platform for everyone, irrespective of being an architecture student or an art lover, to architects, practicing architects. Even for a normal person, like they should be curious and engaged through the post. They should at least learn something, out of each post. So that is my target. Maybe in future, maybe like workshops or something I would plan for, educating a large chunk of crowd. But as of now, I look at it as an educational platform.
Okay. In fact, workshop would be a great idea. As you mentioned, you are also in teaching profession. I'm getting back to the same point again about your teaching profession. Uh, do you think that enough attention is being given to including temple architectures in the curriculum for architecture students or the architecture courses?
I guess yes. See, architecture is being curated for 5 years. So I think equal division across, arenas inside architecture is a must. So being said that, temple architecture is given importance. So they will exclusively study this temple architecture as a theory subject in their initial years of architecture. And there is a subject called heritage conservation in their final year or fourth year. And even in the Masters of Architecture, they have this subject called Heritage Conservation, where they are again touching upon temple architecture. So, kind
That's
of
interesting.
importance is definitely given.
Also, when you talked about that, you haven't thought much about where you want to take this project ahead in the coming future. You mentioned that you might like to create some workshops or something similar. So, also, are you thinking about taking this as a professional activity in terms of monetary benefits, or you just want to keep doing it as a hobby or as a just a tool to share information and share knowledge?
As of now, this is my hobby to share information and knowledge. And
Okay,
I don't know where it would take me in future.
okay.
It is
Uh,
not that only now I
mm,
am doing this. I've been doing this for years together. Now
mm.
I intentionally I'm posting it on my page.
Like we earlier discussed in the morning when we had a small conversation, you mentioned that you have been doing this for a decade almost. The sketches or the study of temples, that's you are doing for a decade. So how do you think it's going so far? And I mean, when you earlier started for the first time, and now after almost 9, 10 years, as you mentioned, do you see any changes in your own attitude towards looking at the
Definitely,
temples?
definitely. See, as a person who I am today, I and 10 years back, I have evolved so much. I have learned so much. Experience have many experiences have shaped me. Many people have inspired me. And I should definitely say, my greatest inspiration is my guide, my research guide. She's Professor Kumudavali Sashidhar. She's the greatest inspiration. The main reason for me to pursue my research is because she was my teacher, she was my professor in my master's. The way she delivers her lecture, the way she is into heritage and conservation, the way she conveys, it actually inspired me that, I should get into research. So before 10 years and who I am right now, it's completely, I have evolved, I guess.
Okay, uh, that's fascinating because it's the same with everyone who is into a research field, that as the time passes and as you explore more, you evolve more, you understand more, you learn more, and the more you understand, the more you realize that there is a lot more to learn, right?
Exactly. What we know is only like
Mm.
peanuts. Like it's
Yeah.
an ocean.
Also, when I was going through your post the first time, I one thought that struck my mind was these posts would look lot better or in a much more educational way in a book. So that was my thought the first time I saw your post. So it like a book about a drawing and explaining what it is. In an Instagram post, there is a limitation to how much you can explain or how much you can tell. But in a book format, there is a lot more that can be done. So I'm not sure if you have thought about that idea so far, but I would definitely
Yes,
like to
I
plant
have
that
a
idea in your head.
yes, I have thought about publishing it as a book, but not soon. But maybe in future, I might think the book which I had mentioned, Elements of Space Making. That book actually inspired me. Like you can do such things.
Uh, when I will be uploading the video, when the people will watch it, there would be some more questions that they might they might have some doubts. So if they share their thoughts and questions later, obviously, I hope you'll be available to answer these questions or answer their thoughts or maybe share more information about whatever they want to know about.
Definitely, I'll be happy to you know share the answers.
So friends, while you are watching this video, if you have any doubts, if you have any questions, don't shy away from posting it in the comment section, and I will definitely get them answered, and I will definitely request you, Shankari, to answer your questions whenever you have a doubt and question. It was a pleasure talking to you, Sivashankaree. When I come across some amazing pages on Instagram, because Instagram has really become a place of only influencer who are doing nonsensical glances and nonsensical trends just to stay alive on the pages or just to stay relevant. But there are definitely some influencers who are actually doing some productive work on Instagram, and you are one of them. That's why I really loved your page, and I wish you all the very best for your future. I wish to see your book coming in the very soon. You are saying that you are thinking of about in a future, but I think the future is now. You can even start now, and it should not take more than 6 months or a month year to get that book out in the market. So all the
Thank
very
you,
best
thank
for
you.
your future.
Thank you, Dr.
And
Dinesh. Like it's been a pleasure, to have this conversation with you and for identifying the page and then, ensuring that it should reach a larger crowd. That good thought is kind of commendable. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for inviting me.
thank you very much. The pleasure is all mine, and I definitely look forward to interacting with you once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, Shiv Shankari. It has been a great pleasure.